Alright, let's talk about some trapezoids today. So a trapezoid is a four-sided figure in which you have one pair of opposite sides to be parallel. Those are going to be called your bases. They also have two sides that are not parallel. We're going to call those the legs. The other important part that we're going to talk about is the height. And the height is a segment that is perpendicular to both your bases. So the formula we're going to use in order to find the area of a trapezoid is h times b plus b over 2, where the h is the height and your b's are the bases. So you're going to take your height, multiply that to your bases added together, and divide that by 2. If you are a fractional type person, you can go 1/2 times height times base plus base. Either formula will work. Another formula that we will use is capital M times H. And the capital M is something called your midsegment. Now your midsegment is a segment that connects the midpoints of the legs of your trapezoid. So let's say this is a base, and let's say this is your other base. And that means these are my legs. So if you were to find the midpoint to this leg, and you found the midpoint to this leg, and you connect them, that is a midsegment. Now the way to find the length of your midsegment, it is nothing more than the average of your bases. So base plus base over 2. And now you can use this formula, midsegment times height. So again, the h is still going to be your height. Now if you take a look up above, this part of the formula is up here. So you can kind of see how it is derived. The base plus base over 2, that is your midsegment. And then you just multiply it by height. So more than likely we're going to use one of these to find the area. Just make sure that you also understand how to find the midsegment and that there is a second formula. Let's flip to the back side. We're going to just talk you through some of these problems, and then you're going to work on a worksheet by yourself. First question is find the area to the trapezoid. So what I'm going to do is just write down the formulas. I, again, always prefer the one where it's over 2. And then the other one we would need is the midsegment times the height. And we may need to know that the midsegment is base plus base over 2. All right, first question, find the area. What information is given to me? I see I have my bases. I see I have the height. I'm going to use this formula here. So I'm going to start off with A is equal to H times B plus B all over 2 and plug in what I know. The height is 6. My bases are 8 and 12. And then that's going to be over 2. So I end up with 6. 8 plus 12 is 20 divided by 2. So I end up with 120 divided by 2, which is 60. We are still talking area, so it should be units squared. Let's take a look at the next example. It says find the height of the trapezoid if the area is 44. So what information is given to me? They tell me the area, they give me a base, they give me the other base. What am I trying to find? I'm trying to find this height. So again, it's crucial that we start with the formula. A is equal to H, B plus B, all over 2. Now plug in what we know. We know the area is 44. We know the height is what we're trying to find. That's my x. My bases are 7 and 13, and we divide that by 2. So now we're going to take this to the next phase, and we're going to write 44 is equal to, adding the two bases together, I got x times 20 divided by 2. The 20 and the 2 reduce down, so I get 44 is equal to 10x. Divide 10, x is 4.4. So the height, again, is units. So I'm just going to write it as 4.4 units. Next question, what is the median to my trapezoid? So median, midsegment mean exactly the same thing. So from above, the formula is base plus base over 2. And the nice thing is I do have my two bases given to me. So I got the midsegment to be 5 plus 9 divided by 2. So my midsegment is going to be 14 over 2, and that just turns out to be 7. So if I was to find that midpoint, connect them, it's the average, that is 7. Now the next question is going to take a little bit of work on our part. Okay, again, they're going to ask us to find the area. We have a base given to a base given to us. Problem is I don't have my height. But immediately I should notice that in the corner I see a 45-degree angle. So that means we're going to be talking about a 45, 45, 90 triangle down in that corner. So let's start with the formula. A is equal to height times base plus base divided by 2. The height is not given to me, but my bases are 6 and 14 divided by 2. Now let's talk about this triangle in the corner. How do the three sides relate to each other? Across from the 45 is x, across from the 45 is x, across from the right angle is x root 2. This is the side that's given to me. Now I need to set these two things equal to each other. So I got 3 root 2 is equal to x root 2. Solving, the root 2's are going to cancel each other, and I get x to be 3. This piece I don't really care for. This is the piece I want. That is my height, and that piece is x. That piece is just 3. My height is 3. So I end up with 3 times 20 over 2, which turns out to be 60 over 2, which is 30 units squared. And the last one, probably one of the more tougher questions, and that is when you're trying to find the base. So the information given to me is the area, top base, height. What do they want us to find? They want us to find the bottom base. So again, crucial, let's start with the formula. Area is equal to height times base plus base all over 2. Let's plug in what we know. We know the area is 1152. The height is 8, and your bases are x and 12. I always like to put the x first just because it's a little bit easier for me to see. So now what can I do? The 8 and the 2 reduce down. So I get 1152 is equal to 4 times x plus 12. Now what I want to do is divide both sides by the 4 to isolate this parentheses. So I take my calculator, and 1152 divided by 4, see what that turns out to be? That's 288. So 288 equals 4's canceled, x plus 12, subtract 12 to both sides, and we finally get x to be, just subtract 12, 276. So again, this is a length, so it would just be in units. So what I want you to do right now is go on and try the other worksheet by yourself, and then click on the other video to find the answers to that one right there. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.